Ladies and gentlemen, this is Joe's Classic Video Games back with another cool pinball repair video for you this evening. We have been working on this, well, kind of working on this Williams high-speed pinball machine. We did a first one where we looked through everything and just kind of saw the condition that it was in, and then we revealed at the end that the head has been cut off of it. So all of the wires have been cut on this machine. It's in really nice shape, with the exception of that, and it's missing the two numeric displays, the bottom ones in the back box. Back glass is in nice shape. Cabinet is in nice shape. Playfield is in nice shape. The boards appear to be in pretty nice shape. There is some battery damage, but the main problem is whenever the guy brought it to us, he cut the head off of it. So all of the wires have been cut. We counted. It looks like there's about 100 of them. So the very first thing we need to do with this is put all those wires back together. So that's what we're going to do on this video. So first thing I'm going to do is go ahead and put it back up on its legs, lay the back box up on the top where we can see the problem, and then start putting them back. So once we do that, we can test it and see if it'll boot up or what's the deal with it, what it needs. I'm sure it needs a lot of service and things, but we should have a pretty nice machine if I can fix all of these cut wires. So I'll show you what I'm talking about. So first, I'm going to go ahead and put the legs on the base of it, and we'll start putting it back together. All right, folks. So we have got it back up where it goes. Put the legs on it. We may end up taking them back off to clean them better, but I put new levelers on them. The old ones are all rusted up. Maybe they were in water, or it may have been an animal, maybe a urine or something. I don't know. It was all rusted. But it was just the legs. I mean, just the feet. So I don't know. Probably water. They didn't smell or anything. And like we showed in the previous video, the cabinet's in nice shape. We've got all of the wires here. 106 wires. Just so you know. Including this one. What do you think about that? When someone opened the door but didn't come in. That's weird. Weird. You know, we have customers while we're working on this stuff. So, of course, the other lengths are in here. So this needs to be back together. So the way I'm going to do it is I'm going to strip back each wire. I'm going to tin it with a little bit of solder. And then I'm going to basically butt connect them and put shrink wrap on it. Now, it's possible to wrap the wire around each other, kind of snake them around each other, but that's not easy to do, butt to butt. And the crimp butt connectors, I think, are the worst thing I've ever seen invented in my life. So I would rather just solder them and put a nice piece of shrink wrap on it. Basically, I'm trying to make it where you see the split and you see a little piece of shrink wrap, but you don't see a big cheap looking crap that get crimped on there, you know, and it's got instead of it being like this, it's this freaking big with all of the little red things, and one of them falls apart and is sticking out like this. The hell with that. So I'm going to solder each wire together and slide the heat shrink tubing back over it and shrink it. So that's our plan, man. So we got to go through 106 of them. I'll get started. One of the only two that would be slightly different is this one, because it has 3 wires in it. It's a shielded wire for the audio. And this one is this one. But the way they used to do it was you would just attach it to that screw there. So this one doesn't have to be put back together. It just needs to be attached with that screw to the other one. Look, my old watch has a braided looking band. This must be meant to be. Well, I guess I'll get started, but the watch is gonna. Wait till I get my watch on. All right, folks. There it is. Now, I know all of you would do a much better job. I know that. And the reason I know that is because you always tell me. So just leave your comments below about how you would do it so much better. And I'll be sure not to read a damn one of them. Okay, so I'm going to slide the heat shrink up over it and shrink that. I got to go get a heat gun. Okay, folks. So 8 hours has passed, and I have done this many. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. I'm 15 in. So in another 80 hours, I ought to have my 106 done. It's just rough math. Like 8 hours. I'm supposed to have my watch off. 8 hours. So, boy, I'm putting a lot of work into this one. Now, some of you are probably faster. If you were faster than me, this could probably be done, 15 of them, in about 20 minutes. But, you know, I take my time. It probably took about 2 hours, hour and a half, something like that. All right, so I got all these to do. I'm going to save this one for last. Maybe we'll do, I'm doing the way I'm keeping make sure I do the right ones. Like if you look, these are black and yellow. Well, there's also these two black and yellow. But these are going with this bundle up that way, you know, and the other end was in this bundle. So I'm just keeping them separate to do them in order, you know, so that I don't cross wire anything, hopefully. So I guess I'll do these next. They're a little thicker. And then all of these are going to be switches and lamp matrix stuff and all of that. These thicker ones are probably more like power and solenoid. So it's just a matter of working through and cutting a little piece off, crimping soldering them together, and then putting a little shrink, what do they call it? Heat shrink tubing on it. So, on to the next part. All right, folks, we're getting there. So we still got these. We have 2 Hanks done. That Hank's done and this Hank's done, which is less than a third of what we need to do. So that took another hour. So I'm running at about an hour for 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, for 14 or 15 of them. All right, moving right along. Well, I know what you're thinking, folks. How do I know which wire goes where? Well, I'm just doing it color by color. So yellow to yellow, gray to gray, gray and white to gray and white. But the problem is some of them, there's more than one wire. So these bigger ones here are power type stuff, or solenoid stuff, like I was saying. But these smaller ones, what's up with that? So I'm going to give you an example here. So if you look, there are actually 2 wires that are white with a green stripe. And while you could argue, oh, it's slightly different, they don't intend them to be different. It's white with a green stripe. These came off the same roll, probably. Okay. And there's only 2 like that. But there's also 2 that are white with a brown stripe. And there's 2 that are white with a yellow stripe. And our theory is that these are for lamps and that these are for switches. So there's 2 that are white with a red stripe. There's 2 that are white with an orange stripe. And there are 2 that are white with a purple stripe. Then there's 2 that are white with a black stripe. And there are, in fact, 2 that are white with a blue stripe. So I'm screwed on the white ones, right? So why is that? Well, let your weary heart be at rest. I'm going to look it up in the schematics and show you why it's not that big of a deal. So we're kind of relying on Williams doing a professional job. You may disagree about whether I'm doing a professional job, but so high-speed switch matrix table, if you'll notice, all of these rows, columns they call them, are green. The wire's green with a trace on it. And all of the rows are white with a trace. So those wires are the switch rows. And so we've got brown, red, orange, yellow, green, blue, violet, and gray. So it's not white and black, it's white and gray. And then down here we have the lamp matrix, and you can see that all of the lamp columns are yellow and all of the lamp rows are red. So the red wires and the yellow wires are lamps, the white wires and the green wires are switches. So this schematic's not the greatest scan, but if you look on the schematic of the CPU, it says switch matrix drives, and it says 1J5, so connector 1J5. It has a wire on pins 1, 2, am I reading that right? Pretty crappy scan. 1, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. No, doesn't, not 6. 6 is the key, it says. I'm getting this all screwed up. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 is the key, 7, 8, 9. So 8 wires. Okay, but if you look up here, it says switch matrix inputs, mechanical and optos. Okay. That's going to be a problem. So it's got 1J8, 1J10, 1J9. Is that correct? I think that's 1J8. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 5, 4 is the key, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So 8 wires there. And 1, 2 is the key. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 8 wires there. 8 of them are for the mechanical switch inputs, and 8 of them are for the opto switch inputs. Well, if you look at this diagram, it shows us the switch and opto columns are the green wires, and that's on IJ8. And the switch rows are the actual white wires that we're looking at, and that's on IJ10. So it doesn't show IJ9 as even being there. So it's all very confusing. So what's going on? Are there like opto switches and all of that, and that's why there's extra wires and they use the same color? Well, if you look at the switch table a little closer, you can figure it out, and then we'll go confirm with the board. If you look at, for instance, the white and brown wire, so we know there's 2 of those. Well, if you look, it goes to the plumb bob tilt, the out hole, which is at the bottom of the playfield, the upper left stoplight bank, red target, the stand-up target arrow number 1, the upper left jet bumper, the playfield tilt, the left kicker, and then the green and the gray wire actually isn't used on anything. So the green and gray wire may not even exist. Okay, and then if you look at this white and red wire that we have 2 of, it goes to the ball roll tilt, ball trough number 3, the upper left stoplight bank, the stand-up target arrow, the lower left jet bumper, the left ramp, the right kicker, and then again the green and the gray is not used. So they've got everything arranged in a matrix. So that white and red wire is running to each one of these switches. And there's a diode involved. And the only way that it knows which switch is depressed, is connected, is, let's say it does this one. So if the white and the red switch, if this switch closes, it's going to connect the white and the red wire to the green and the red wire. Basically, there's a diode involved, but it's going to connect those 2 wires together. And then as it sends, I don't know which way it sends it, but as it sends voltage through the matrix, it finds the one that's grounded, right? So it pulses, let's just say it's the columns. It pulses power through this, it pulses power through this, and it gets to here and it goes, hey, wait a minute, that one's ground. It's basically strobing it, checking it. Wait a minute, that one's grounded, so that switch must be closed. And that's why all of the diodes are very important. If one of the diodes is shorted, whenever you do that, the voltage can run the wrong way and make another one look like it's connected. So you get switch problems. So anyway, what's going on in our situation? Well, if you look, this is the plumb bob tilt, which is in the cabinet. This is the ball roll tilt, which is in the cabinet. The credit button, which is on the coin door of the cabinet, or up by the coin door. The right coin chute, which is on the coin door of the cabinet. The center coin chute, which is on the coin door of the cabinet. The left coin chute, which is on the coin door of the cabinet. the slam tilt, which is on the coin door of the cabinet, and the high score reset button, which is on the coin door of the cabinet. So the green and brown wire is going to go down into the cabinet and not even go to the playfield because it's not needed on the playfield. And each one of these, though, is needed in the cabinet, but also needed in the playfield. So since it's a matrix and this wire is connected to this switch and that switch, it doesn't matter which way you connect it. So how are they connecting it at the board to the actual PCB? Well, as you can see, they use these insulation displacement connectors, IDC connectors, and they've just simply ran the wire through so that it comes in and goes out the other way. So in other words, they're both connected together anyway. So it doesn't matter if you get the white-yellow one connected to the right white-yellow one because they're both the same anyway. They both connect to the same connector. So, you know, you could have just looked, or I could have just looked, but I like knowing why something is, right? So the reason that there's two sets is because one set has to go to the cabinet and one set has to go to the playfield. And sure enough, if you look on the coin door, you see some of our old friends, those white and purple, white and blue, white and gray that I thought was white and black. So, you know, there's a couple more over there, like to the tilt and everything. So it's one set curls off of that connector and comes down here, and one set curls off of that connector and goes up to the playfield. You can actually see our other one there. All right, so I got all the white ones together, and there were no extras, so that's good. This one is obviously the one that goes to the playfield because it uses, wait, have I got that right? Yeah, it uses all of the colors. And I mentioned that the green and the gray, it may not use, but it does send it to the playfield. So it'd be interesting to see where that goes and where it stops. There must be a plug somewhere that it doesn't go through the plug. I'm going to hook it up anyway, though. And then on the, this is obviously the one that goes to the cabinet. There's only two green wires, the green and the brown, and then just a regular green one, which is probably just a ground that goes to something else. So the green and the brown isn't used on the playfield, so there isn't one of those going to the playfield. So it all checks out. It's just like we thought. I'll see if I can solve the mystery of the green and the gray for completion's sake, but I'm gonna go ahead and hook those up. Okay, so we got all the switch wiring done. I think that's good. So I'm gonna go ahead and do the lamps. We already looked at those. It's all the red and the yellow. And get them out of the way. That'll leave us orange, blue, gray, brown. Look, we got a lot left to do, okay? So orange and yellow next. All right, folks, we are getting there. I'm gonna put a zip tie here, I guess. I got every single freaking one of them. So green, white, red, orange, blue, gray, and yellow. Now you could put like loom over this, but I never really liked that stuff. It always looks real sloppy. It always looks like it's half on and half off, and you know, I'm not trying to hide it or anything. So I think this will actually be a nice, good little repair, all things considered. The other option was you could have used like Molex connectors, but there's already connectors right there and right there. So, you know, they weren't designed with connectors. So I would rather piece the wires back together instead of putting another connector in that's another point that you could have a failure or a wire pull loose or whatever. I think this is the best way to do it. Okay, so I need to reattach this. Like I said, I can just put it on with the screw. We've got these two and we've got these three, and I think that's everything. So this is the audio cable that runs down to, I think, to the volume pot on the front door, I think. And this is going to be a connector to the speaker. So I got a couple little audio connectors, and then we're ready to set her back up and see if she wants to come back to us. Look at all that. All right, this is the most satisfying part of the whole thing. Look at this. I got all three of them back together. Now, we can't make it like exactly how it originally was. But look. Wait for it. Wait for it. I should have set this up better. Yeah, that's right. That's right. The shrink tubing is coming. Look at it. It's going to be beautiful, isn't it? It's going to be amazing. Okay, so this is what we ended up with. I think that's a nice clean repair, personally. I'm proud of that. I think that's some of my best work. You know, I've done other ones like this, though. I've got other videos of doing the exact same thing. This one, you could have repinned it and just, you know, put the wires up to here, because there's a lot of extra on that one. And this is how this one ended up. I think that's pretty good. Put the strap back. It looked like perhaps he had just taken the strap loose, so he might have done that one the so-called right way. And that's every single wire, folks. Put every one of them back. Now, we need to look in the back box just to see how all of that looks. We looked at it in the first video, but just to make sure we got every wire. And then we'll try plugging it in, see if it does anything. Okay. So, you can't even tell unless you go down inside the cabinet, I guess. So we looked at this in the first video. Everything looks pretty good. There is some battery damage going on this battery. We got to fix that. And of course, we're going to work on the power supply and everything. It's almost even a numbers matching game, although that's not really valuable on a pinball machine. People would prefer there be new boards in them than the original boards. But this does appear to have most of the original boards, with the exception of the main board, the MPU. So I think we're going to turn it on. Now, like I said, we have to work through all this stuff, but I kind of want to see what's going on with these displays. I want to see if these displays work, because I want to look and see if I've got the missing 2 displays. If I don't, I'm going to have to order a set. We'll order an LED set. Now, I know a lot of you are thinking, oh, well, yeah, go ahead and order the LEDs. They're nice. Well, I would. But I don't really think like that. I like putting the stuff back the way it originally was if I can help it. That's just how I am, right? I'd rather put the original stuff back in if it's still working, it's in good shape. And down the road, we can get some more use out of that. And down the road, somebody else can put the LED displays in it if they want. I've got a bunch of parts, and I may have those displays. I don't know. We'll figure it out. And there's a cost to it. So yeah, it's real easy to say when it's somebody else's stuff, or whenever you're just doing it as a hobby, it's really easy to say, oh yeah, of course, get the new LEDs. They're nice. They're nice, but they're also a couple $100. So, everything looks good to me. And it looks like all the wires are connected. So I don't see any that we missed. Everything's clean. I'm going to go ahead and plug her up, and we'll see if she does anything. All right, folks, it is viewer mail time. This comes from our old friend, Mac Attack. Mac was nice enough to come down and visit one time, and he actually worked on a playfield. And he was here a couple days, if I remember correctly, and he cleaned up a playfield for us and got it all shiny and nice. And he has a special technique. He uses toothpaste to clean the playfield. It worked out really good. So if you want to send us viewer mail, you don't have to mail us anything of value. You might want to just send us a letter. This is our address. Joe's Classic Video Games, or Lions Arcade will work as well. Joe's Classic Video Games, 139 Caldwell Street, Rock Hill, South Carolina, 29730. And it's Mac Attack. Dun-dun. Dun-dun. Let's see what the attack looks like today. I should probably put it to the side, Savannah, just in case. What in the world? What is he doing? Mac has taken it to a whole new level. Holy crap. Okay. Now, folks, we are not asking you to do this. If someone does this, don't do this, people. Whew. What is he doing? Okay, so first off, he sent us some seeds. Okay, so we're going to read the letter together. Okay, so boom, 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 boom. All right, Mac, if he might be watching this video. I'll email him. Questions. Are there any crab cakes left? Mac was nice enough to send us a bunch of crab cakes. Mac, we ate every one of them. There aren't any left, but thank you, sir. Do you have an analog meter? I do somewhere, but we usually use digital. Did you use the Penetrox on a sparking switch or contact to see if it stops the spark? Did you try it on more than one switch? I did use it on a pinball, an EM pinball, but I couldn't tell if it stopped the spark. I couldn't tell if it was sparking beforehand. So I need to find one that's sparking really good and then try it on that actual switch and see if it continues to spark. So I need to do a video on that. We're going to eventually. Did you try it on more than one machine? Have you thought about doing any short videos of the mechanism and toy fixes? I will try to travel. Will we try to travel up to Allentown or York in the future and go to the Pin Fest? We don't usually travel much. I've never been. We may make it up there one of these years, but we're not planning on this year. Did you try cleaning a playfield with the H&H toothpaste? We did. We had one that we didn't have to do the whole thing, just a little bit. Yes, we did try it, and it works. Toothpaste works great to clean a playfield, and it polishes, like it makes a nice shine. Can you see who gives thumbs up on videos on YouTube? No, you can't. It won't give you a list of who does that, or thumbs down. When someone buys something on Amazon, do you see their name? Nope, we don't see their name either, but we do see what they bought. We've had some people buy things that I think they were sending us a message. They were buying naughty things that I don't think anyone would actually want, but they bought them. I didn't want to judge anybody. Could you get H&H toothpaste to sponsor you? I can't get anybody to sponsor me. I've tried. We've tried so much, Mac. All right. He sent us a self-addressed stamped envelope. Okay. And then he has sent us... Wait a minute. There's another letter. There is another letter. Comments. You never answer the phone. That's true. We often don't. A lot of times we're busy, and sometimes we get people calling. The main thing that people call us about right now is they want to know if we can fix their PlayStation 5. And we can't ever fix their PlayStation 5. And then a lot of people will call and want us to fix their jukebox in Colorado and tell us over the phone what's wrong with their jukebox in Colorado. And I can't really tell. If you email me, usually I can respond because I can have time to think about it and figure things out. Keep up the great work. Well, thank you, Mac. Love the videos. Keep them coming. We're trying. I've drank from a garden hose. Me as well. My house had wood paneling, and I have LEDs. Oh, no. On an analog meter, you can watch the needle rise and fall when testing a cap. Yeah, I need to get a good one that I trust. Like I need to get an older one that's a decent one. I don't want a new one. I want to get like an old one that's a decent one because then I'll use it. If I get a brand new Chinese one, I won't use it. Try to do short videos on fixing mechs. Please travel up north. Give more info on paint methods used on the playfield surface. Love God, love family. Peace out. Ain't that the truth, buddy? Thomas Just give me a crab cake McCubbin. Also known as Mac Attack. All right, Mac. And then he has sent us lottery tickets. Mac, you didn't have to do that, buddy. I'm not even a big lottery guy, but I guess I'll play them because you sent them to us. So we appreciate that. And he sent us some seeds here. We'll have to plant those and see what pops out. I believe those are pumpkin seeds, aren't they? Joey. Let's see what Joey says.
Yep.
Are these pumpkin seeds that Mac has sent us?
Yep, those are pumpkin seeds.
All right, Mac. We'll plant them and get us a little pumpkin patch going. Yep. All right, we appreciate it. Now, back to your regularly scheduled video. Did you know we sell t-shirts, folks? You can have your own Joe's Video Games shop t-shirt. Look at this. We have different types, but this is the one that we're selling right now. It's got our favorite slogan, "It's broke," from Joey on it. This is the back of the shirt. It's broke, Joe's Video Games. Check that out. And then it has Joe's Video Games on the lapel, or the breast of the shirt on the front. We've got small, medium, large, extra large, and double XL if you're looking for one of those. They're $30 shipped. Now, we do PayPal, we do Venmo, we do all of that kind of crap. That new age stuff, we're trying to get into it, okay? Zelle, we can do Zelle if you do Zelle. And you can send us an email, or you can text Joey. So I'm going to give out Joey's phone number here on this video. You can text Joey at all hours of the night. 704-507-6170. Now, I realize I put an O and a 0 in there, so let me do it one more time. 704-507-6170. That's Joey's phone number. Text him. Don't call him, bug him. But if you want to text them, that's fine. And don't text them a bunch of, like, political jokes and crap. We don't want to hear all that, people. Text him if you want a $30 t-shirt. I forgot to mention, we also have 3X. So small, medium, large, extra large, double XL, and triple XL. Available while supplies last. All right, folks, so here we go. Smoke test. We're literally looking for smoke. Didn't hear anything lock on. That's good. I don't see any playfield lamps, but it's because it's in factory setting mode. Controlled lamps. I mean, obviously the general illumination is kind of working. The board appears to have booted. The top displays are working. That flickering you're seeing is just the camera. Then here in person, they look great, actually. So it's telling us that the batteries are dead, which we knew because they've puked all over the board. Oh, that was me hitting the flipper. She's back. All right, let's turn the lights off. Let's see how beautiful it looks in the lights. That's one of the coolest games ever. We mentioned in the first video, I don't really like newer games. I like the 86 ones. This is an 86 one. Yeah, so those 3 displays work fine. So this would have been how it was at their house. Whenever he took it out of their home, he had to cut the head off of it, or he thought that he had to cut the head off of it. So we've got it back, it looks like, back where it was. And it's pretty cool. It looks like all of the lamps are working. Of course, we've got some busted rubber rings and things. There's a paper towel in the shooter lane. But it looks like we've got it back where it was. All right, so I need to order a couple things. I need to order the lockdown bar receiver. This receiver, it's missing parts, I guess. Maybe we could look at that and see if it really is missing parts. I think it is. Maybe if we take that off, we can see if we can fix it. So we got that, and I want to look at my parts, like I said, and see if I have those two missing numeric displays. The top two are alphanumeric, and the bottom two are just numeric, or the bottom three are just numeric. That's kind of crazy that they took those off. It must have just had, you know, whoever had it had a bad one, and they just took those off and sold it to somebody. That's crazy. But we'll see if I've got some, or if I can get my hands on some and get it working again. All right, so yeah, let me pull out my parts and we'll see what we've got for displays. Well, unfortunately, I looked through all my stuff and all I had is this one alphanumeric, and we've already got two good alphanumerics. I don't even know if this one's good. The numeric ones have a few less pins on it. You may be able to plug this in and just not plug a few of the pins in. They may have actually wired it that way, where this would actually work as a numeric. Because the difference between a numeric and an alphanumeric is that X in the middle. There may be some more too, maybe the line in the middle too. Yeah, so the X and then that line right in the middle. And some of those they may be able to light up independently. I don't know, but there's a few extra lines. So if they designed this really nice, they could have designed it where the extra pins are all on one end. So you could plug the smaller plug in to the ones that it uses and blah, blah, blah. But, you know, it wouldn't work anyway because we've only got one of them. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to order a set of LED displays from our favorite LED display place, Wolfpack Technologies. So the Wolfpack stuff you put together yourself. So we'll do a video where we actually build the LED displays and then install them in the game. This one's a little different than the ones that we've done before for Bally because it has a master board, like a driver board that's used, and then it has the 4 display boards, but the display boards only have a connector and then the displays on them. They don't have any resistors or IC chips on them. So it's a little easier to build actually than the Bally's. We did a Williams set at one point. I can't remember what that was for. For some game, we did a Williams. Maybe it was our last high speed. I can't remember. But I ordered them, and I just went ahead and ordered the orange. That's the original look, because that's just, I like those better. I've seen people that do red and blue, and then I saw somebody did red and blue on the same machine. Look, folks, it's a little trick for me. I would just as soon it be orange. But we'll see. So we'll get them in soon, and then we'll be able to put them in the machine, build it all up. So we'll have to wait for them. Okay, folks, so kind of slow going on this one, but, you know, those wires was a big deal. That took quite a bit of time. Joey was messing around with the lock bar and actually got it to lock, so it's just there's something going on with it. So apparently we don't need a new one, we just need to tinker with the one we've got. So it's locked now, so that saves us a little trouble. Got the displays coming. We need to work on all the boards. We need to clean up the whole playfield. There's probably some mechanisms and stuff under the playfield. There might be something missing that I haven't noticed yet, but everything looks cool. I don't know why there's a paper towel stuffed in the shooter lane. But hey, we'll get into all that next time. So hope you enjoyed it. We will see you on the next video. This is Williams' fantastic high-speed